Welcome to this video over employee development as part of my human resource management series. Employee development is the combination of formal education, job experiences, relationships, and assessment of personality and abilities to help employees prepare for the future of their careers. Organizations and their employees must constantly expand their knowledge, skills, and behaviors to meet customer needs and compete in today's very demanding and rapidly changing business environment. Human resource management establishes a process for employee development that prepares employees to help the organization meet its goals. Development implies learning that is not necessarily related to the employee's current job. Instead, it prepares employees for other jobs or positions in the organization and increases their ability to move into jobs that may not even yet exist. Development may help employees prepare for changes in responsibilities and requirements in their current jobs, such as changes resulting from new technology, work designs, or customers. In another video discussion, I talked about how training traditionally focuses on helping employees improve the importance or the performance of their current jobs rather than their future work. Training is related to development. Now, many organizations have focused on linking training programs to business goals. In these organizations, the distinction between training and development is more blurred. Let's look at some of those differences between training and development. With training, we also have a low use of work experiences. The goal for training is just preparation for their current job, not for any changes. Participation in training is required, whereas in development, this can be a voluntary decision by the employee. Now, while participation is voluntary, employees need to be aware that recent changes such as downsizing and restructuring have become the norm, so the concept of a career has become more fluid than in the traditional view. Beyond knowing job requirements, employees need to understand the business in which they are working and be able to cultivate valuable relationships with their coworkers, their managers, the suppliers they deal with, and of course their customers. They also need to follow trends in their field and in their industry so that they can apply technology and knowledge that will match emerging priorities and needs. More employees will follow a spiral career path in which they cross the boundaries between specialties and organizations. As organizations provide for employee development, and as employees take control of that development and with their own careers, they will need to, first of all, determine their interests, their skills, and their weaknesses. And secondly, they need to seek development experiences involving jobs, relationships, and of course with formal courses. Let's talk about the 4 approaches to employee development. I've got those shown here on the screen. I'm going to start with formal education. With formal education, this includes workshops, short courses, lectures, simulations, business games even, experimental programs, and meetings. Organizations may support employee development through a variety of formal education programs, either at the workplace, if they have a training and development center as based on that type of organization, or it can be done off-site on or even through the internet. Now, with the assessment, that's going to be the second approach to employee development I wanted to discuss. Here we're talking about collecting information and providing feedback to employees about behavior, communication, or skills. Assessment comes from employees, peers, managers, and even our customers. And remember, when it comes to customers, you can look at your customers as both internal customers and external customers. When it comes to assessment, methods of assessment can definitely vary. We can look at doing psychological profiles, using assessment centers, or even doing performance appraisals. I'll give you a couple examples of some of these methods of assessments. You've probably heard, or if you haven't, please look into the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. You may hear this called the MBTI. But the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, this is a psychological inventory that identifies individuals' preferences for sources of energy, means of information gathering, their way of decision making, and lifestyle, This is providing information for team building and leadership development. DISC is a brand of assessment tool that identifies individual behavior patterns in terms of dominance, influence, steadiness, and conscientiousness. Another one is leaderless group decision. This is an assessment center exercise in which a team of around 5 to 7 employees is assigned a problem, and then they must work together to solve it within a certain period of time. The next area that I want to talk about in our 4 approaches to employee development is that of job experiences. Most employee development occurs through our job experience. This is that combination of relationships, problems, demands, tasks, and other features of an employee's job. Using job experiences for employee development assumes that development is most likely to occur when the employee's skills and experiences do not entirely match the skills required for that employee's current job. Job experiences are used to develop skills needed for teamwork, including conflict resolution, data analysis, as well as customer service. These experiences may occur when forming a team and when employees switch roles within a given team. Various job assignments can provide for employee development. And the last approach to employee development listed here is interpersonal relationships. Employees can develop skills and increase their knowledge by interacting with experienced members of an organization. An example of one of these would be a mentor. And a mentor is an experienced, productive senior employee who develops a less experienced employee called their protege. Most mentoring relationships develop informally as a result of interests or values shared by the mentor and protege. Mentoring relationships can also develop as a part of your organization's planned effort to bring together successful senior employees with less experienced employees. Now, formal mentoring programs help ensure access to mentors for all of the employees of an organization, regardless of gender or race or any kind of factors like that. A mentoring program can also ensure that high potential employees are matched with wise, experienced mentors in your key areas within the organization. Mentors and their proteges can both benefit from having that mentoring relationship. Some organizations use group mentoring programs which assign 4 to 6 proteges to a successful senior employee within the organization. Another way is with a coach, and a coach is a peer or a manager who works with an employee to motivate that employee and then help them develop their skills as well as provide reinforcement and feedback. Coaches may play one or more of these 3 roles. First role is a working one. It's where we're working one-on-one with an employee and giving them feedback. The second is helping employees learn for themselves, as an example for helping them find different experts and teaching them to obtain feedback from others. And then the other role that the coach may play is providing resources such as mentors, courses, or job experiences. Various job assignments can provide for employee development. The organization may enlarge the employee's current job or even move the employee to different jobs. Lateral moves include such ones as job rotation, job transfers, or temporary assignments to another organization. The organization may also use downward moves or promotions as a source of job experience. Job rotation is that where we're moving our employees through a series of job assignments in one or more of our functional areas. I have transfers listed as a job assignment as well. Now, transfers do not necessarily increase job responsibilities or compensation. They are usually lateral moves, that is, moves to a job with a similar level of responsibility. They may involve relocations to another part of the country or even to another country. Now, a downward move occurs when an employee is given less responsibility and authority. The organization may demote an employee because of poor performance or move the employee to a lower level position in another function so that the employee can develop different skills. Now, promotion involves moving an employee into a position with greater challenges, more responsibility, and generally more authority than in their previous job. Usually a promotion includes a pay increase. The employer may encourage the employee to participate in an externship. This is a full-time temporary position at another organization. Temporary assignments can include a sabbatical. This is a leave of absence from an organization to renew or develop skills. Employees on sabbatical often receive full pay and benefits during this time. Sabbaticals let employees get away from the day-to-day stresses of their jobs and acquire new skills as well as some new perspectives. Sabbaticals also allow our employees more time for personal pursuits, such as an example of writing a book or spending more time with their family. Let's talk about the steps in the process of career management. And you see I have those 4 steps listed here: data gathering, feedback, goal setting, action planning, and follow-up. With data gathering, in this stage, employees embark on a process of self-assessment. Here, the employee's responsibility is to identify opportunities and personal areas needing improvement. The organization's responsibility is to provide assessment information for identifying their strengths, weaknesses, interests, and values. When we look at feedback, and here we see the employee's responsibility is to identify what skills that they could realistically develop in light of the opportunities that are available. The organization's responsibility is to communicate the performance evaluation and the opportunities available to the employee given the organization's long-range plans. This next step with goal setting, here our career objectives are determined, such as desired positions, level of skill to apply, the work setting, and skill acquisition. The final step is action planning and follow-up. Here, employees prepare action plans to achieve career goals. Plans may include a combination of various development methods. The outcome takes form of an overall career development plan. The steps in the process of the career management ought to be quite familiar, and you can tie a lot of these steps to other processes we've covered and will cover later on in human resource management, as well as just in business in general. A lot of things we're doing: we're gathering data, we're looking at feedback, we're setting goals, and we're creating an action plan. So this should be very simple to remember. It's a very common process. Now, there are some development related challenges. One of those is known as the glass ceiling. This is an invisible barrier that keeps most women and minorities from attaining those top level jobs. Some of this can be caused by a lack of access to various training programs, developmental job experiences, and developmental relationships. Developmental systems are put in place to help break this glass ceiling environment. Another development related challenge is that of succession planning. With succession planning, we're identifying and tracking high potential employees who can fill key positions when they become vacant. Senior management regularly reviews leadership talent. This ensures that critical talent is available. Succession planning provides developmental experience that managers must complete, and it helps attract and retain managerial employees. Now, the succession planning process can be put into 8 steps. It begins with identifying the positions to be planned for and the employees to be included in this plan. Planning should also include establishing position requirements and deciding how to measure employees' potential or being able to fulfill those requirements. The organization also needs to develop a process for reviewing the existing talent it has within the organization. Now, the next step is to link succession planning with our other HR systems. Next, the organization needs a way to provide employees with feedback about career paths that are available to them and how well they are progressing toward their goals. Finally, measuring the plan's effectiveness provides information for continuing or adjusting future succession plans. Now let's look at another development related challenge, and that is with dysfunctional managers. Dysfunctional managers may otherwise be competent but engage in behaviors that make them ineffective or even toxic in our organizations. These dysfunctional managers may show that they are insensitive to others or have an inability to be a team player. You may be able to identify a dysfunctional manager because of their arrogance or poor conflict management skills. Dysfunctional managers also have an inability to meet business objectives, as well as an inability to adapt to change. Organizations can benefit from offering development opportunities to valuable employees with performance problems, not just their star performers. For dysfunctional managers who have the potential to contribute to the organization may offer development targeted at correcting these areas of dysfunction. This process includes collecting information about the manager's personality, their skills and interests, and providing feedback, training, and counseling while ensuring that the manager can apply new functional behaviors on the job. And I'm sure most of us out there can sit back, think about these characteristics, and be able to quickly identify some dysfunctional managers that they've experienced or even maybe currently experiencing in their organization. That is it for this discussion on employee development. I hope you will take some of this information and be able to do some further research and hopefully apply some of this information when it comes to employee development in your current or future organization. Thank you.